Who's heard of QR codes? We already asked that question, right? Most of you. Is anybody using QR codes in their business right now? Right there, okay. Just one of you. Okay, QR codes are kind of a new phenomenon, right? If I were to ask 6 months ago who knew about QR codes, I would say that less than half the room knows about them. But what QR codes are quick response codes. It's no different than a barcode on a can of Coke, except it contains more information. And of course, our smartphones have the capability of scanning QR codes and pulling that information, usually pointing to some kind of website. We've seen QR codes all over the place. Here's just a few examples. Over Christmas time, this one on the bottom left here is from Target. If you were to scan that QR code with your smartphone, it would play a video of how to trim your Christmas tree, of course, with ornaments that you bought at Target. And then, Dish Network, if you've been to Best Buy lately, a lot of their products have QR codes. So they're becoming more and more mainstream. Not everyone knows about them, but a lot of people really know about them today. So I want to introduce an opportunity where real estate can be represented via a QR code, and taking more than just a static flyer and having much more of a stronger experience into a smartphone. Here's really the prerequisites for scanning a QR code. Very simple. You have a smartphone, number one. Number two is you have an app, right? We've talked about apps already today. The apps that I recommend are these three. I really like the Enigma because it seems to be the most sensitive, and I'll actually show you live here in just a moment. But once you've done that, you have the ability to scan anywhere that represents these QR codes. Now, usually QR codes are represented in a hard copy form, meaning on a sign writer, on a flyer, maybe if you're advertising in any kind of publication, maybe your newsletter, etc. So let me show you what can happen with these QR codes. I'm going to go live here again. So I have my boring black and white flyer, and this could be the flyer where the QR code is, it could be a sticker on the flyer box, it could be a sign writer. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and scan this. I want to show you something else we've developed at Hillside Software. And by the way, I'm going to give everyone for free today, I'll give you instructions how to do this, but we'll let you develop a QR code property website for one of your current listings just to see how this would work on your own. So I'm going to activate the camera here on my iPad. And that quickly, I don't know if you caught that, as soon as I passed it over the QR code, it captured it. So I'm going to go online. And after you get this, there we go. Let AT&T populate that. Again, very similar to what you saw on the last shot with the IDX search. This represents a property as well with a number of calls to action. So notice I'm branded here as a contact person, but there's some calls to action where they can view a map, they can schedule a showing. Whoop. I pressed the button accidentally. They can actually go in and download the home search app as well. Notice this button, download my iPhone app. So if they don't like the property you're representing with the QR code, they can actually go in and search for additional properties via the IDX. So again, a quick introduction to how you can use QR codes effectively for your business. The biggest differentiator here is, yes, you can take a QR code and you can point it to any website, but who's tried to browse on their smartphone and at a full-size website? And you got to zoom in, zoom out. Where am I on the page? What happens if I click here? Where's the button? As opposed to something that's formatted specifically to be on a smartphone.